You are listening to Max Pew, an actual play RPG podcast. Max Pew follows continuous storylines that are best enjoyed from the beginning. This Extra Life content was recorded in a public venue, previously aired during the Team WV Fox Marathon stream on May 4th, 2019, and may contain spoilers for its associated work. The following content may contain mature themes and adult language. Please enjoy Part 4 of Head, Heart, Hands, Hell. No, Mr. Edwards barely get out of bed, much less be violent. Jeez. They just put him on oxygen recently. I mean, he can barely get around like that. This is...
But he is missing, right?
He is missing, but like obviously he can't get very far though.
Oh my God! Somebody stole your car and slid it sideways into Mr. Edwards.
That was his car that had the tennis ball.
Either that or dealing with like the movie Cocoon, only with pot.
So you all hit the woods,
Yeah.
and you're having a conversation. And Dennis is a good old boy; like he'll carry on a conversation with anyone. And, you know, he talks about his bad week. He brandishes the MP3 player that you all have been talking about. And this thing, it has stopped working.
So that's one of those there, you can play music on that?
Yeah, you can play music on it, yeah.
Wow. But you can't get it to work?
It stopped working, yeah.
Do you have music on it?
I mean, I put music on it and then it
What's
stopped
on
working.
there?
Let's see here. I got some CCR, some Skinnerd. I got some.
I start walking away.
A little bit of, and that one Blue Oyster Cult song.
The Godzilla one?
Yeah. That's about it right
on.
now. But I mean, I was trying to get some other stuff on there, and
Molly Hatchet.
and you know it stopped working on me. Like I can't even, like it turns on, it flashes weird, and it won't let me play my music. And
Batteries. It's
Does it
always
need
batteries.
you want to look at it? Hell, I'll try anything at this point.
Sometimes if you just shake the shit out of stuff.
Yeah,
it'll
think-
stop.
I mean, I've tried that too.
CD player quits
I'm gonna
working,
take a
you
look
take
at
batteries
it.
out, spin
Okay.
around a little bit,
So,
throw 'em back
he'll-
in.
Does it work like an
All right, so he'll hand you this MP3 player.
All right.
So I'll let you do a. I mean, how you want to interact with it?
I'm gonna look around on the back. Is there a battery door?
Plug it into my head.
It's rechargeable. So there's actually like a little port. So like there's a door that opens and it's got like you can access like the rechargeable batteries, or you could put like AA's in, but he's got rechargeables, and like there's the plug that you can like recharge it to, or you just put like your own like 6 AA batteries in this like brick of a thing.
Game Boy style.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
Yeah.
Did you happen to charge it?
Yeah, I've tried Charger. Charger worked just fine. It's just recently I had a full charge. I plugged in the computer up there. I put some songs on there. I tried to listen to it. Didn't work. I thought maybe it was a battery. I plugged it in to try to charge again, top it off. Still don't work. I mean, it comes on.
Where'd you download?
What's the screen say?
Nothing. Like, here. You
I'm just gonna hold it.
okay.
And,
You gotta turn it on that side. The button, it looks like
Right,
a circle
right.
with the line in it.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what buttons are.
Okay, well, you're looking at it like you're...
I know what an on
seen
button
a
looks
button.
like.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of looking at
Call me
it.
old-fashioned, but I don't mind buttons.
You
all
turn
right,
it
so yeah,
on.
turn it on.
The screen kind of turns on. It's like garbled, like when you try to print something but you don't have the right print driver, and it just
Right,
does
right.
like kind of a garbled text, and it does that for a few seconds and then it shuts off.
All right. See, my character would never know this, but Matt wants to make a
virus.
a Pokemon reference for the
Missing no.
Missing no. That's a virus.
It's like, yeah, your screen's trashed. I hope you didn't pay more than like $20 for this.
Can I make a tech roll to see?
Yeah, you can absolutely make a so for you, let's see, contact
Program?
Come on.
Because
is the ability to create and manipulate computer programs, electronic devices. Absolutely program.
Yeah, because I'm IRL me knows what this is and has dealt with it before.
Does somebody want to throw an assist his way?
Yeah, I only have 4 dice. If you want to throw an assist my way.
I got nothing.
Well, you can just say,
Well,
I
okay.
assist him.
I
Yeah.
assist him because I
So you get an
actually
extra
have
die.
one in
All right,
program.
cool. So I only have 1 in program too. I have 3 in tech, so
We'll see what happens.
It's
see.
enough to run sound equipment.
there's a success.
Okay. So, options. You can mark a condition to reroll all those fails. And then we can go from there because using your
Alright.
shame right now would not help.
I need I need a pencil.
So
I'm gonna get. I think Anna needs to get upset
that she can't figure
that
this
she
out.
can't
right
figure this out, so she's like,
now. Okay.
piece of.
So she gets upset that she's having issues with it. So you just like redouble your efforts to try to figure this
To try and
device out.
figure out what's
Okay.
going on. Yeah. There's another success. What is this one? That's
Okay.
almost a success.
So you got 2 successes. Now your only other option right now would be to mark your shame. So
I don't think my shame
boy,
is ever
that's
gonna
not-
come into
I wish I
play.
could dress however I like. Yeah, that's not.
how can we work
Maybe
that
it has
in
something to
here?
do with
Look
the
at my
music.
shame.
Sure. So you
I don't understand.
so basically what this tells me is that there seems to be like society has an identity for you and you kind of want to break from that.
Yeah.
And you think like, well, people don't think like girls can be nerds or anything like that. I want to be able to do whatever I want. So yeah, I'll let you mark your shame. That'll give you your 3rd success. You needed 3 successes because this device had the quality haywire on it. You get into this thing and kind of bypass stuff. And yes, it does in fact have a virus installed on it.
Found it.
Basically, you're able to kind of like somehow hit the right combination of
Bypass.
buttons to be able to root this thing to see
Factory
what files
reset.
are on here.
Factory reset.
And the files on here, yeah, there's a couple of songs like, like the CCR/proudmary.mp3, Leonard Skinner.
Queen.mp3.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner hyphen Freebird.mp3.
Woo.
Pam Anderson 1.jpg, Pam Anderson 2.jpg, Pam Anderson 3.jpg. You figure that was probably for like later to take to his home computer.
That's later.
And there's always like the one song with the that's attributed to the wrong artist.
Yeah.
So it'll be like,
And you're
it'll be
pissed
like,
off
there's only-
because like
only
Enya
one-
didn't sing this. It's
Right.
somebody else.
like only one way out, and it's by 38 Special or something.
Yeah, like every type of like atmospheric music was attributed to Enya
Yeah.
back in the day. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Enya didn't do that.
People
But
got
the
in
last thing you
genre.
see on there that is relevant is something called HEL-PR.bat. So helper.bat.
Hell.per.
I go, well, I found your problem.
Oh yeah?
You downloaded a file that had a virus in it.
Oh.
So I'm probably going to have to FAC reset this.
Okay. I mean, whatever makes it work.
But first I want to check what
and then
this
he's
file
like,
is.
oh. His face kind of like gets a little white.
said this would happen.
Yeah, his face kind of gets white a little bit. It's like, so, I mean, would that virus affect like every device that it was on?
Possibly, yes. Depends what kind of virus it is. I can't tell from this MP3 player.
I get the feeling that the truth may be revealed in short order. Why would you ask a question like that, Dennis?
It's in the README file.
Make me a
So here's the question: is how high tech is?
Can I tell
is
what-
our missing old man's pacemaker?
you okay? You need to make me a charm roll.
Can I tell what kind of virus this is?
So when we use
Not
something
from
that
this
says
stuff.
+2 or +1, does that add dice to the pool?
Adds dice to the pool.
Okay.
You never modify the number. You modify the pool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I'm making a what now?
Charm.
Charm. So that is heart.
Yes.
So that is 4. But I'm not very charming because I'm kind of a weirdo. But I've got my stash with me, and I'm kind of like, hey, Dennis, do you work
Yeah.
in the building up on the hill up there?
Yeah, that's kind of like my.
You ever seen
office.
something like this? And I just hold out like a neatly rolled J under his nose. You're
Holy,
kinda tired,
holy
right?
shit! I haven't had a hit in like 8 hours.
So I'll add those two.
There you go. Big old J.
Nice.
2 successes.
Okay, so charm. You're able to get him to do what you want. In addition, you get one of the following bonus effects. He'll keep believing you. You formed a lasting relationship. He'll take risks to help you. He'll try to persuade others into believing you. He's frightened, confused, or impressed. He's infatuated with you.
He'll take risks to help me, and what I hope that risk that he'll take
Excellent.
is trusting me with what is really going on.
Okay, it goes beyond that because he's going to tell you what's going on because he trusts you. But we need that success for the next part here. So he's like,
What the
I
fuck
don't-
program is this?
okay, I don't have internet at home, and they've got internet up at the retirement center. So that's where I download my stuff. And I'm probably going to get in big trouble if I put a virus on their computers upstairs.
What file?
I was just downloading like music and some pictures, but mainly music.
I saw the pictures. What is the file?
I don't know. I got like music and stuff. He legitimately doesn't know. Like
So
it's
she's gonna take a big risk here, and she's gonna since the MP3 is not connected to anything else, she's gonna open helper.
okay. It really
See what
doesn't.
happens.
It doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Like it's like a batch file, and it doesn't really do anything. You try to click it. It does the same thing with the JPEGs too, because you're talking to like 28 pixels by like 14 pixels or whatever. Basically, it's enough pixels to be able to show like the letters, and you hit the enter button, you listen to music. There's not much of a graphical interface at all. So the pictures are even there just for him to take home and like add to his own stash.
Thumb drive is what that
Yeah,
is.
that's
Yeah.
basically like a 32 meg thumb drive. The batch file doesn't do anything, but you figure on a regular computer, it probably has a set list of things like most batch files do that it's going to do. And the music would actually work, but like right now you're kind of like not in that GUI, so you can just kind of like see the files right now. So he's like, okay,
I might keep this file on this MP3, and if you don't mind, I would like to keep the MP3. I would like to run this this file.
Well, can't you just
on
check the computer he downloaded it on?
that is.
yeah, I
you
can
would have
take
to
you
get
to
us
that.
into that building.
Shit, I can get you in that building. I work there.
Are we still looking for an old man or what?
Yeah, what
No.
about the old man?
Hey,
not anymore.
You want to split up and some of us go look for the old man and some people go check out the computer virus?
Yeah.
This virus, considering what it's named, my character's already like,
Okay, about that time, here's what happens. As you're discussing who wants to split up, you look over in the parking lot, and you can see like a police car like running code 1 with just like the lights flashing, kind of pull up, no sign or anything, just kind of pulling up, and it's like, okay, they probably got this under control. That's what Dennis says. Like, oh, they can get it figured out from here. You get the impression Dennis might not want to talk to the cops right now.
No doubt.
So it's like-
to join.
just hit it.
It's like, shit, I don't...
This isn't mine.
Yeah, I mean, we can't go to jail. I mean, we're minors. It's all his fault.
Listen, I'll get you in there. We can take a look at this, guys. I promise. So
go take a look.
you trundle out through the woods, and he's going to also do a good job of avoiding the police as you guys take this circumnavigate your way up to the Glenwood Park Retirement Village.
Up with drugs.
I know.
It's teenagers. What do you expect?
All right. Okay.
It's probably
Y'all-
the only teenagers that didn't
Y'all are going to
smoke
say
weed.
that you are choir performers for Mrs. Wilson. Okay.
Whatever.
Hold on,
you
let me
have to
grab
say
my
to get
guitar.
us in there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There we go.
Choir performers, Mrs. Wilson. Let me do the talking. Okay.
What do you have to do to get us in
Me,
there?
They-
my, mo, moo. Me, me, my, mo, moo. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
yeah,
Okay.
no,
But like, yeah, just we're
do
just
that.
telling them that, man. So, you go up to the front door, the Glenwood Park Retirement Village. Here's basically your map. So the front entrance is here that he takes you in. You've got a reception desk that there is a receptionist there. And, he kind of talks to the receptionist. And you see that he's trying to do his best to get her to leave the reception desk because you figure that's probably what he was using.
Yeah.
You've got these rooms right here. These are patient rooms. There's a storage room kind of in the back here, the emergency exit, and this goes to the kitchen. This is kind of like one wing of this building. This isn't the entire building, but this is what we're talking about here. These are office spaces. So basically there's like 9 patient rooms here that are kind of like beyond assisted living. They need,
There's no metal detectors, correct?
No metal detectors here because they're not really anticipating anything like that. Dennis,
she still has her knife like tucked into the back of her pants.
Dennis is able to get the lady to leave for a little while, like saying like, "Oh yeah, there's
oh man, did you see there's a cop out there?
Yeah, there's and it's a nosy lady, right? So like he says, yeah, there's a cop down there at the 4-H. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It seems like a big scene. It's like, huh. Well, I'm going to work on the plumbing over in like room 4. Like I'll be in here. If he's like, yeah, okay, I think I need to. Can I bum a cigarette? It's like, yeah, sure. So he gives the receptionist a cigarette so she can like go out and take her little self a 15.
What are those smoke breaks where there's like a head like sticking up?
Yeah, like prairie dogging a little bit. So she's going to take her 15 like right now so she can kind of spy on what's going on at the 4-H. But you basically have your run of this room here. It's like, yeah, that's the computer right there.
So,
now
That sure is a computer.
She's gonna jump onto the computer like immediately.
Okay, so you start looking through. You look through the downloads, and you find like
Looking for helper.
yeah. And as soon as you start looking at this batch file, the power starts to flicker a bit.
That computer's not connected to the entire power facility, is it?
Well, it is because it's plugged into the power.
That shouldn't be able to like.
Oh, come on.
The doors start to rattle. Almost every single one of the patient rooms, the doors begin to rattle.
That's not normal.
As though someone's like trying to open the doors.
Immediately, knife is like she has her hand in the back of her pants. Like,
No, man. They're trying to get out. They're doing something weird with the patients or something.
All right. So as you're trying to figure out what happens, this furthest room 1, the door opens and out comes this little old lady, probably in her late 70s. She has one of those like 4-pronged walkers, an IV pole, and she's got like almost like one of those Holzer monitors, like a heart monitor, kind of like attached to her, dragging her behind.
That's not attached to her.
Walking way too well for what this lady should be in this condition.
Oh my God, she's coming right for us.
And almost walking at you with like a dead-eyed purpose, like, 1,000-mile stare coming at you all.
Buddy, do you know this woman? Get her like not. She's not acting right, bro.
Mrs. Anderson, can you come back to the room? And as he goes over to Mrs. Anderson, like, man, let me get you back to the room. She backhands him, and like backhands him to the point where like his neck kind of snaps like a little too hard. It doesn't break his neck, but it's one of those that's like makes you like black out. So smacks him. Like he just hits the ground. Welcome to the confrontation, everybody.
That's the point where the knife just goes.
So here we are.
Hello.
The confrontation.
I ain't messing with Granny. I ain't messing with Granny.
So the confrontation is something called an extended trouble. And what's going to happen is that everybody is going to have an opportunity, and I probably need to feed you all a little bit of additional information. So you know what's
Did
going
anything
on.
come up on the screen?
I'll actually get to this for a second. I'm going to explain the rule set here. Okay. So in an extended trouble, basically, everyone is working towards the same goal, and you'll get one check. You're going to tell me what you want to do. You get to make a check, and you're going to try to rack up as many successes as possible. So your goal, this is going to be a fairly difficult task that you're knocking out. It's not going to be almost impossible because you figured out most of the clues. So all you need to do is get 4 successes times the number of people at the table. So what's that, 24? So all of you in total need to be able to rack up 24 successes. And depending on where you fall, like close to 24, so like half of that or the full amount or something like that, different things will happen. And that kind of like measures our success in this particular case. While Anna is doing some digging as to what Helper does and gets in this batch file and doesn't really open up the batch file, but rather like right clicks it to see what the batch file actually does, there's a few passages in here that appears as though Helper is actually an artificial intelligence that was originally designed to integrate with medical technology in order to help with procedures and diagnoses. So it was supposed to help doctors. It looks like the last time that this thing was actually updated was back in 93.
Okay.
Pretty sophisticated.
There's some actual like corruption of the file as well that makes it look a little bit weird. And that kind of goes outside the purview of this adventure. What you know is you're currently dealing with an AI that originated from the dark web that has integrated itself into some of the medical equipment, into these elderly patients, into this nursing home. And now you guys have to deal with it somehow. So,
Can I delete the batch file?
that might be a good start.
She kind of sighs. I'd have to. Tired.
And can we, if we can strategize a little bit, kind of above
You've got to
the table
strategize,
here.
and
Right.
then you guys decide what order you want to go in.
So
Anna's
kind
got
of above the table here. I'm wondering, right now the threat that we see is Mrs. Anderson coming at us.
Well, it's probably
And potentially other people.
That was where I was headed. Like, do we think that there are other patients that are like
Possibly.
what's
So-
the name
More
of
than
the
likely.
So to help out here, one of the tasks that some or all of you might want to do is buy some time. Because it seems like the problem is this technology. So maybe someone might need to try to figure that out. It might be power related. It might be internet related. It might be computer related. You guys can kind of tell me. But also, it sounds like you might need to buy some time for those individuals to do their work, which means some of the brawnier people can kind of like do crowd control a little bit.
Right.
There might be some other things you could do. Maybe it calls for like a telephone call to someone or anything like that. Maybe call like, Gateway 2000 tech support to figure out what they need to do. Okay. The thing is, think about this convoluted plan that your group is going to pull off. And just because, the computer is the important part doesn't mean that everyone else doesn't have a major part that they can play in all this. So let me hear the grand scheme. That's where we are right now.
Molly,
Anna needs to purge the system.
So Anna is already thinking she needs to be on this. She's Lex from Jurassic Park. She needs to get on this computer and she needs to purge the system. Okay.
And I feel like
purge and restart.
I feel like Morgan would be like, Anna, keep doing what you're doing. Walter, Molly, go do crowd control. Miles, you're with me. We're going to see if there's some way that we can shut this down. Jonathan, can we buy our way out of this?
Can you use your back
Just
to go
ride me.
call the cops?
He pulls a 20 out and puts it in a 3.5 inch drive. It's like, come on, this works for everybody else.
AI.
Okay, so it sounds like you want to try to make a leadership roll.
I do.
You can do one of two things with this leadership roll. The first thing you can do is you can do a straight roll, try to get as many successes as possible. Number two, you can create a dice pool for everybody else, and the choice is yours. But basically, for every success you get, you add 2 dice to the pool for everyone else. So there's
So I want to do that.
So
That's
you
what I
could
wanna
do that, or you could try to
double the successes down the road.
or you could try to get your own successes. So it's up to you how you want to play that out.
No, I want to roll high and then add a bunch of successes.
Okay, so you want to create a dice pool for everybody else. Okay, so make that leadership roll.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, next step, you can mark a condition.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with scared.
Fair enough.
And mark that condition. No good. I've got
Okay.
one success.
So last thing you can do is you can mark your shame to get a success. If there's any way we can, have you marked your shame yet?
I have not.
Okay, so what do we got?
People think I'm weird.
So, so people think you're weird.
Yeah.
You in this leadership role, kind of like directing traffic. This is the most real thing that you've probably done in a while, and it's like shocking people. So you think like people that think I'm weird don't listen to me, and I need to make sure that I am heard right now. So you can mark your shame. That gives you an extra success. So
that's
what's
4 to the pool. That's 2,
yeah? So that's going to be 4 dice to the pool, and you can kind of assign those to whomever you want at any point. But like right now, there's no successes, but you got 4 dice in the pool.
Okay.
Who's got another plan right now?
I know what I'm going to do.
Okay, what
I'm
is
going
it?
to blast the old lady in the face with a dodgeball. Or a kickball.
Okay, so
We all know the sound too.
Yeah.
so
That little ring.
so I mean it's non-lethal damage, but it's probably going to shock her, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably going to have that effect of like really like perhaps shocking her out of this, waking her up, maybe stunning her, buying you some time. This definitely sounds like a force because you're trying to do this as hard as possible.
So do I need to add dice to his pool before he rolls this?
I'm going to say before. So
Okay.
basically, how many dice are you slinging?
I've
right
got
now?
8.
Okay. Do you have anything like an iconic item or anything like that?
Well, I got a butterfly knife.
So that's not really going to help you here.
Right, I was going to go ranged first.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the kickball give you +1. So how many dice does that give you with
that'd be 9.
9 dice right now? So yeah, go ahead and do you want to give him any bonus dice or? See, slinging 9 right now.
Yeah, let's give him one. Let's
Okay.
make this a 10 die roll.
All right. So you're rolling 10 right now before we do anything else. So that was a 6.
That was
I
a 6.
apologize. So that's 3 successes right now. Next step, you can mark a condition to re-roll all those fails.
Yeah, I'll do upset.
Upset. Okay, so you're upset that you're having to beam this old woman in the face with the dodgeball to be able to save everybody's lives right now.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, or something like that.
I got another one. 2 more.
Okay, that's 2 more. Now, you could additionally mark your shame if it's relevant to get an extra success.
Yeah, they've always said I wouldn't amount to anything.
Well,
Watch me hurt Grant.
watch me hurt this old woman.
Watch me sling this dodgeball.
Okay, so you end up with 6 successes. Basically, you kick this ball and you stun her to the point where it actually kind of like snaps her out of this fugue, and to the point where you think you might actually have to go over there and like catch her because she's not used to supporting her weight for this long. This equipment has basically pushed her to like the limits of what her physical frame is able to do. Now, anyone else? What other options you have?
I'm looking for generators.
You're looking for generators?
Yes.
So you want to like cut the power?
Cut the power completely to the facility.
Okay. We'll say that in one of the supply closets in the back or the storage, you can probably find a fuse box.
Okay. As soon as she finds it, she's going to open it and just
Flip all the fuses.
Flip all of them.
Okay. So I'm going to say,
Everybody.
Doesn't matter. It's going to get this thing off the system. It's
all right. So this is going to be,
going to cause a mass reset. Oh,
I'm going to call this a program because the ability to create, manipulate computer programs and electronic devices. And boy, a fuse box sounds like an electronic
just
device.
flipping all the switches. All
Yeah.
of them.
Well, we're going to see how well you do at it. So
Okay.
this is going to be a program check.
Okay.
Do you want to add any
5.
from the dice pool? He's slinging 5 right now.
I'm slinging 5 currently.
Take 2 and roll 7.
Okay, so you're gonna add 2 more dice to your dice pool.
Okay.
You've
it's
got
one left.
notepad, Sharpie.
Yeah, got
Okay,
one
so
left.
Yeah, it's
nothing
not
there.
going to
really.
help me there.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're gonna sling those 7.
There's.
Oh my god!
God.
You got 4 right off the bat.
Yes.
So, you can mark a condition. So actually, we should have reduced that dice pool by 1 because we have a condition already.
Yeah, I have a condition.
So you can mark another condition to re-roll these 2 just to see if you can sweeten the deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that she's pretty scared by this.
Yeah,
point.
scared.
She's
I mean,
like-
you could even go with injured that it like kind of like
It
shocks
shocks.
you a little bit.
No, she's terrified by this point. She's like, "Holy crap! There are people like actually trying to."
Okay, so you can re-roll those two right there.
I didn't think I was going to have to actually stab somebody today, but I might actually have to.
Didn't think that was on the agenda for 4-H camp.
Yeah, killing somebody was going to be on the agenda here. Oh,
Okay,
no.
so nothing there. And you've already marked your shame. So you got 4 successes, so you're pulling your weight here at least. I mean, that's...
I flipped at least a good couple of them.
Yeah, you feel like you did some work here. So there's 3 more people here that need to do something, and they're going the power... Anna's going the power route.
What is Granny just kind of beginning her fall?
Yeah, Granny's kind of beginning her fall, but she's not the only one here. There's like other residents that seem like they might pour
So
out
we
here.
need to
and
keep
cause-
all that kind of under control.
Start blocking
I would
doors.
like to maybe use investigate to kind of look for the plans and like the emergency procedures and just find how you secure the building, because there's got to be some sort of plan like
It's got to be a
this, or-
button
For
that
what-
like, locks
or at least
down all the
For what
rooms.
purpose?
lock all these.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lockdown, basically. Just
So,
click.
all right. So here's the thing. This reception desk is going to have like some manuals and stuff like that. And I'm going to go with comprehend, which is the ability to have the right piece of information or to be able to find it at the school library or other similar
That's fine.
locations. So
I'm not gonna do
comprehend is going to be searching the right place for the manual to be able to do this properly.
All right. I can live with this. but
Thankfully,
it's not what I'm
our
great
main
at.
terminal is still working, correct?
this is not
Well,
the
you've been
sort of
cutting
thing
the
I'll do.
power, so
Yeah.
probably that might
Yeah,
not,
that's
but there's
true.
probably more like manual things that he
Alright,
can do.
I'm gonna take
We'll make it work. Is
Yeah. I think he's looking for like a
you taking that
button
last
he can
die?
press that can just
Okay.
lock doors.
Yeah, there are no 6s.
No 6s.
So,
Okay.
we'll put upset.
Upset.
Now there's 1.
1. Okay. Do you have a shame you can mark?
I already have.
Okay. So you've got 1 success. All right.
Going to
Now-
the hallway. On my way to the hallway, I'm just using the bat at the end of the bat to kind of give Granny a little bit of push backwards towards a seat so she doesn't actually fall and break a hip. I
Okay.
want her to fall into a chair if she's going to fall.
Yeah.
And I'm basically playing defense that if anybody else comes out, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just keeping them back.
So you're prodding. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
not swinging yet. I'm just
yeah.
kind of using it to keep distance.
So I think I would go as far as to say that's a force. Unless you want to call it move, in that you're kind of like doing this spinning plate act where you're trying to like do the shuttle run to kind of like.
I'd rather it be force.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely do force.
So it gives me an extra.
You got 1 cocked.
All those and none.
Okay,
I'm more
mark a condition for that re-roll.
scared.
Scared.
1.
1. Do you have a shame you can mark?
Yep.
We got.
I'm unsure of my sexuality.
You're unsure of your
I
sexuality.
don't know if that is going to apply.
Well, here's the thing: you're unsure, and you haven't had like a full opportunity to like really investigate that, and you have a lot of life to live.
Yeah, like
So-
this is too soon.
Survive.
You have a lot to live for
Is this,
right now.
Is this your 80s movies trope? I don't want to die a virgin.
Will to survive.
It might be. It might just be. So that gives you 2 successes total.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, last up, Jonathan. It seems like the power's going out in various places. You have crowd control going on. You've got attempts to do like the shutdown procedures. What do you do to try to assist this along?
Smash stuff.
I do have some talent in tech. I mean, I could help with that, I guess.
Okay.
Help me out.
I can help you with.
Shutting down the power.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll call that
We call that.
so that would be program.
Program. I don't have a brain.
Call the Geek Squad.
Okay, what else you got here?
Calculate.
You can tell which switches do what.
Comprehend.
Comprehend is going to be like the library one thing too. So like you could kind of look at shutdown procedures So yeah, you can do that comprehend as well.
Okay, 2 dice there, and then it's a mind thing, so 3 for that.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yep. Do you have any other juice you can put on it here, or
I've got
sunglasses,
my money
probably.
clip on. I got my money
I don't
clip.
know if throwing money at it'll help here. Let's see what you get with this roll.
Add the last die. From
Matt already did.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was my only success.
Fair.
My expensive sunglasses will help me read better.
Well, are they reading glasses and stuff? They're prescription, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're the
Okay,
ones that
add a
flip
die.
in between.
How the hell did you get prescription Oakleys?
Revos.
Oh,
2.
wow.
2 successes. Okay.
Those are some solid
Now, you could spend a condition to re-roll the failures, and actually take a die out of that because we should be reducing the pool by
Okay.
1 for that.
Well, the condition's going to be I can't help but feel that I'm better than all these people and that I must do this to help.
So here's what we'll do. So you can mark upset because it sounds like you're getting mad that
they've wrecked my car already.
Yeah. So you're upset. So we'll mark that. You got an extra
1.
success, and then your shame, which you've already kind of explained that so you don't even have to roll for that; it's a free success. So you get 4 in total. So 8, 16, 18. So here is what happens. We'll get there. So this is kind of like a partial. This is success at a cost, basically. So what you guys can do is you have more than half the target number, which means you don't fail completely. Now, what you have to do to be able to actually succeed is you have to spend conditions to give yourself additional successes, right? And the way the rules work is that the person that got the least number of successes has to. Oh no. You see here, our spiritualist didn't actually make a check and got 0 successes that contributed. She made a dice pool for you all, but she didn't contribute any successes. So what happens is we mark all 4 of your... How many conditions do you have left?
4 left.
4 left. So we're going to mark all 4 of your conditions, and you become broken, which means you get a scar. So after... what would be a good scar for you? Some type of lasting issue that this situation has given you.
Scared of grannies forever.
You've watched all your friends kind of panic, and you kind of like
He doesn't want to get high anymore.
or like let's say like I get frozen in fear, because that's like the only thing you were able to do that you feel like in retrospect was to sit there and give orders, but you didn't do anything.
Right.
And now you feel like you've been paralyzed by like this inactivity. So now you kind of recall this thing. So we're going to say like frozen in fear.
Okay.
As your scar. Now,
Freeze up.
normally in a campaign game, and we're going to ramp up the drama here. Normally in a campaign game, you get like 1 scar for free, and every scar after that, you roll a d6, and if the roll is lower than the number of scars you have, you die. When we do a one shot, when you get your first scar, you roll a d6, and if you get a 1, 2, or 3, you die.
Okay.
So we're going to ramp up the drama here. 4.
Yeah.
So, as you're kind of paralyzed in fear, and you're still going to have this scar, like someone kind of slips through the cracks. God, I can't think of the name. Molly was trying to get through, and like kind of comes at you and like hits you hard with like a cane, like real hard, like sickening blow to like the shoulder or whatever. And you think that it's the end for you. It kind of like staggers you, knocks you down, and you kind of see this old woman like kind of raise up for almost like the coup de grace. You guys need 2 more successes. Who wants to volunteer their conditions now at this point?
I am going to get over there, and I am terrified. I am going to smack Granny.
Okay, so you can mark a condition, and you want to volunteer one. So
I'll volunteer one.
Okay, well, we'll say
only
that.
two.
So
I
we'll
think.
say that he volunteers the other because he's finally getting through. Like, he's done so much to this fuse box. Like, he's risking like electrocution with every single one, especially when he gets down to like the 220s and stuff. But eventually, once he gets all the power shut off, this AI basically is left with nowhere to run. It's been bouncing between device and device and ends up in this kind of stasis where really the only place it exists now is contained in this MP3 player, and as long as it's not plugged back into the power or anything like that,
I purged it.
yeah, you've basically got it pokeballed inside of here.
All right.
This is not without cost. You've got a lot of these elderly patients who, for the past like couple of nights, have been in this like state where every night they've been kind of sleepwalking and not aware of it. So when they wake up in the morning, they're still exhausted. So this delirium has caused like worse and worse dreams to kind of manifest, and they've been kind of acting them out as a result of Helper sort of like taking them for test drives every night.
Oh God.
So-
and, I'm sure Helper doesn't care how much they hurt.
Well, in this particular case, so basically Helper was meant to help with diagnoses, but a lot of medical ethics boards had issues with placing that much trust in an AI. So this thing was left to sort of fester on a server for a while, and when what was called the machine cancer happened, this AI basically began to go haywire and was looking for a way to get off this network. And it found a novel solution in the dark web and found a modality here that got it onto this local network, and it was looking for ways to perhaps branch out. And if you guys had failed, a lot of these patients would have been deemed like, psychologically unstable and sent to larger facilities where Helper could have manifested at an even greater rate. But thankfully, you were able to stop Helper in its tracks. Now, basically, the commotion is going to cause the police to come back up there. Dennis has been knocked out cold. There's thankfully a few security camera footages before the power went out that showed him getting like knocked out, and it wasn't you all. So it kind of helps corroborate that story. April has to come up there and sort of like talk you guys out of getting like taken to the police and all that stuff. But of course, the police don't.
The hospital.
Yeah, well, some of you do need to go to the hospital, and the police don't really understand what you're trying to tell them, like what had happened here.
Adults
Taking the
never
MP3 with me.
understand.
Yeah. Okay. I mean that's easy to do.
That's mine for now because I have a plan. For this
But
thing.
basically, your friend here, Morgan, has to be taken to the hospital. So we've got a scene of like several ambulances carting people out. You've got the old woman that about fell down and broke her hip. That's like fine. They've got her on oxygen anyway, and she's all cheery. And you got they've already got like an IV started and everything, because they don't know what's going on.
And I imagine Morgan's like, no, like don't.
No, stop.
Don't let
I'm gonna
it
go
me.
with Morgan because I took a head injury there at the end.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
probably get your own van to
Yeah.
take you all, but some of you will be taken to the 4-H, and April's probably going to call like her superiors to try to get you off the rest of the week, or maybe like this might be a convenient out for you all to get out of the 4-H business. But in spite of all this chaos, you have saved this area from a larger menace, which would have been some of these elderly kind of going out and about and doing their thing. And was it Mr. Wilson, or what was who's the gentleman that was out in the woods?
Mr. Edwards.
Mr. Edwards,
Yeah,
they
did we
never
ever
find
find
him.
him?
He's lost.
He's gone.
But Mr. Edwards is kind of like written off as like a missing person from here on.
Tail card. It says the end, and then a slow dissolve in question mark.
Yeah, and you just hear the thunk of a walker scraping by on the asphalt.
Yeah.
And then post credit scene comes up, and
Yeah.
it's Anna, Molly, and basically all of us. And I throw the MP3 player down on the ground, and it's a beat up scene. Just
everyone takes a turn.
Smash
Everyone
the
takes a
shit out of
turn
this
smashing
Yeah, we're
this
gonna pretend this is a
$500
printer on the
device.
office.
Yeah. And then roll credits.
Yeah.
And that
Hey.
was Things from the Flood.
Yes.
Head, Heart, Hands, Hell. We hope you enjoyed this Extra Life content. If you are interested in updates from Team WV Fox, follow us on Facebook. In addition to event updates and details, there are opportunities to win some excellent prizes. If you would like to support Max Pugh and WV Fox, please visit bit.ly/maxpewpew to make a tax-deductible donation today. All donors supporting my donation efforts will be announced at the end of every Extra Life episode on Max Pugh. This week, I would like to thank the White family and our anonymous donors for their donation to Team WV Fox and Cincinnati Children's Hospital. I would also like to thank Free League for donating a copy of the Alien RPG 40th Anniversary Special Edition hardcover. Please look forward to the official Team WV Fox Marathon event. Music provided by Tabletop Audio. 10-minute ambiances for games and stories. Find out more at tabletopaudio.com.